Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, I have spent the whole winter going to sports shows and talking to people in different areas of the Northeast. The most recent sports show, and I just returned 2 days ago from this sports show, it was closer to home. It was in the Utica area. And I find that in every one of these cities that we go to, the sort of the trends, the habits, the attitude of the population in those areas is different from any other. I mean, we have such little social enclaves, differences that I've seen in other countries when I was in the Navy, but it really does exist here too. And so the things that people talk about in one place might not be the number one thing that they would talk about in another place. And in the Utica area, one of the things that people told me, and I want you to remember when I'm doing these sports shows, a big part of my presentation to people is to listen. If I don't listen to what their needs, their desires, their dreams are, I'm not going to have answers for them. So I listen. And one of the things that I've heard from so many people is because of the early spring that we have this year, because of the fact that we didn't have ice cover, at least safe ice cover in so many waters over this last winter, that the ice fishing was way down. Well, what people have told me is that they feel strongly that ice fishing can have such a detrimental. Now, please bear with me here as I talk about this, because I know a lot of you are avid ice fishermen, and I know that ice fishing gives people that might not have a chance or ability to fish in the summer a way to go out and get on some of their favorite waters that they wouldn't have because they don't have a boat or whatever. But what people have told me, they feel that ice fishing puts in a tremendous pressure on the populations of fish in an area. And ice fishing today, meaning at this point in our lives, today, not just this winter, but ice fishing today represents a greater threat for a number of reasons, and primarily the advances in ice fishing techniques and equipment and so forth that didn't exist in years past, because there are now ice fishing igloos and so forth set up where you have light at any time, where you have heat, where you are protected from the coldest of elements, where you can actually fish all day long and all night long if you want to, where you have graphs that allow you to see the fish clearly, to figure out techniques that will make them hit that you would have never had in the past. For all these reasons, the fish themselves are under greater pressure in the wintertime, because the biggest fish, the champions of our spawning populations, those big fish that have survived for years, that have the genetics to pass on to make these fish be there for all time for us, these fish move into places that gives us access to them that we wouldn't even have in the summer. A lot of these biggest fish are in deep, deep water, and they don't feed the same, but they come into these areas at a time before spawning. They stay there through the winter, and that's when you see the biggest fish caught. You really do. So it's something that people have been concerned with. I had people talk to me that were down in that area that fish Sandy Pond a lot, and Sandy Pond is a really popular area along Lake Ontario that people can get out safely and ice fish. And they said, oh my gosh, the number of people doing this, and they've seen the number of fish there really decline in numbers. Now, this isn't the DEC talking. These are people. These are fishermen that are going to have maybe a different attitude about things. They maybe have seen different things that even DEC officials haven't. We're not talking from strictly a biological point. We're talking from an experience point. So I listen to people, and I'm always not only trying to be able to solve their problems, which I'm probably the last person that can do that, but if I find out that they're looking for something special, and I know that our area is more than special, I know that we do have the best of the best of the best, and we really do. We have the best waters for people to come and have an opportunity to catch a fish of a lifetime, to catch lots of fish. We have a friendly area where they can come and they can enjoy the other aspects of North Country life that they would never dream existed if they didn't come up here to go fishing. So I know that we can meet these demands, but I have to first know what they're interested in. So as I go forward in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to pass on some of the feedback I've got from you folks, from anglers, not from the experts, but from anglers that go out and they can pass on what they're seeing, what they're feeling, and what they're hoping for. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.